right? So then today is 0. So then break out document dot get element by ID present. Okay. If then again we have to write another break. Okay. So to come out from that loop, to come out from that statement, so we have to write the break. Okay. So then again, so if today is one, so Monday. Okay. So then, so two, so then today is Tuesday. Okay. Same way. So today is 5. Happy weekend. Okay. So this way we can write this switch statement. So now you can see, so this one, yes, today is Tuesday. For suppose here, so we can set the, so today is, for suppose, if day equal to, let day equal to 10 we are giving. So then there is no case. So day is not valid. Day is not valid because of, so these cases are not true. So we are, our day is not 0, not 1, not 5, right? So that's why by default it is looking, by default it is looking the default case. Okay, clear? So the next one, first suppose, so if you are having the last condition, yes, so it will execute. Happy weekend. Okay, so then why we can use this switch statement? So we are saying in the initial, so switch is the alternative to the if statement. If statement. For suppose here you can see how many we are writing. So default we are writing and 1, 2, 3, 4. So four statement we are writing here. Four statement, four conditions we are checking here. So if you can use same thing in if condition, every time we have to write if, so we have to compare the condition, we have to check the condition, then we have to write it. So every time, so if and if else we have to write. So if we are having more than, if you want to check more than three iteration, if you want to check the more than three conditions, so then we can use this switch statement. We can pass it to switch statement. So if you are having below or three statements, the three conditions, so then we can use the if statement. Okay, so that's why we are saying switch is the alternative to the if condition. Okay, if we can check only two conditions, then we can happily use the if and if else statement. So then if you are having more than three conditions, so then we can go with the switch switch statement. Okay, so that is the those two are the conditional statement. Those two are the conditional statement, if and switch. Okay, so the next one is the looping statements. Next one is the looping statement. So loops are used to execute a block of code a specified number of times. Okay. For suppose, so if you want to run a specific code for specific number of times, if you want to execute a block of code for number of times, so we can use the looping statement. Previous conditional statement, so to check the conditions we can use the conditional statement. To check to run the block of code multiple times, so we can use the looping statements. Okay, we can use the looping statement. In JavaScript, we are having the for loop, while loop, and do while loop. And for in also we are having. So for in, so we are not using now. So we can use when we are having in object concept. Okay. So in the JavaScript we are having the for loop, while loop, do while, and for in. For in we can use in for in we can use in objects concept. Okay. So first thing, for loop loops through a block of code specified number of times. Okay, so both the three things are working same only. Okay, so if you can use for loop, if you can use while loop, if you can use do while loop, so there is no difference. So both the three things are generating same output only. Okay, but we are having the smaller difference only, so no need to confuse. So almost 90% of the 90 when it go to the real time, so 90% we can use the either for loop or while loop. Okay, mostly we can use only for loop. Okay, so this is for loop. So whenever, so if you want to improve your application performance, so we cannot use the for loop. Why? Because so then we will see after completion of these three things I will tell you. Okay, so first one is the for loop. First one is the for loop. So then, so this is the syntax for loop. The for loop iterates the block of code for fixed number of times. It is used when the number of iteration is known. Okay, when the number of iteration so then we can use this one. Okay, for loop, first one we have to initialize. First one we have to initialize the variable or count. Okay, so then next one is the condition. How many times we have to iterate that one. Okay, so to run that one, so we have to write a condition. So the next one, so every time, so we have to increment or decrement, we have to use it every time. So we can use the increment and decrement because of, so then how many times the loop is iterating. To check that one, we have to do the increment or decrement operator. Okay, so then after that, so code to be executed. So block of code we have to write in between of. So these are the curly braces. Curly braces are called the either block of code or initialization block. Okay. So then initialization, first one is the initialization. It is used to give the initial value of the counter variable, which after one loop get increment or decrement, which after increment or decrement. So the next one, condition. So it is evaluated at the beginning of each iteration if the count is exist if the count is iteration count is, so then adjusted or not. Okay, it if it evaluates to true, then loop statement will execute. If it false, so then it returns the it come out from that loop. Okay, so then increment or decrement, it updates the loop counter with a new value. So every time, so you have to increment or decrement, we have to update the iteration value. Okay, so so this is the for loop. So then we can see the example. We can see the example. 26.html top type, then HTML, so then head, so then title, looping statements. Okay, then body. Okay, so then h2, So exam, for loop example. So then here div script. So then close script. So we have to define the for loop for okay or I equal to okay. So then so 0 from 0 onwards we are starting. So here let I equal to I then okay. So then I so if you know the iteration count how many times you want to iterate that one. So then for suppose 10 times I want to repeat this loop. So then I plus plus every time I have to increment this one. Okay. Okay. Document dot or write. So we are printing these numbers. I okay. I now you can now you can see the 26.html, right? Because 26 only. Yes. Okay. So 26.html. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Up to 9. So if we can put equal to, so then it will print up to 10. Okay. So here so we are giving the break. We are giving the break. See now. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. So we can start from 1 now. We can start from 1 now. Okay. Right. So what happened? Did not say. Right. So this way we can run the loop. So then here if you can observe here, so we are checking these three conditions at a time. We are checking these three conditions at a time. Okay. So then I equal to 1. So then again we are checking the condition. One is less than or equal to 10. So it is true. So then it is then so it is doing I plus plus, then it is coming to this one, then it is prints that one. So then again it is going to the after printing, so I equal to 2, right? So then again it will go. Okay. So this way loop is repeating. Here we are checking, we are initializing. So then we are comparing the value at a time. So then now you can see. So same thing how we can do the table. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is already there, right? For suppose, I want 10 table, I want to 15 table to print. They are I want to print the 19 table. Okay. So let my table equal to 19. Okay. My table equal to 19. So I want to repeat this one 10 times same thing. So then what I am doing now? So I am printing the 19 table, right? So then, so what we have to do first, we have to print my table, right? So then plus, so what we are doing first, suppose if you want to print the 19 table, so this texture will look like this 19 cross, so then a 1 equal to 19, right? So this way we are having. So then we are printing this my table, that means 19 we are printing. So then again we have to place the cross, right? So then this is a cross is a string. So space and given the cross. So then after that this one. So then after that we have to give the increment. So only this one is increasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is increasing. So then now 1 I is we place. So then after plus So we have to place. So equal to, right? Equal to, right? So we have to give the equal to. So then after that we have to give the multiplication. All right. So for this one, so then my table, my table multiplication. So then I, okay, clear? So then plus, okay. So BR. So now you can see what happened. What happened with cross. So, so here it is. Okay. So this way we can print the tables. First, suppose if you want to know the 2000 table or 2000 table, then we can print. Okay. So this way we can print the table. Okay. So this is a for loop. Okay. So here, so the syntax is first we have to initialize the counter value. So then after that condition we have to check it. So then either increment or decrement operator, either increment or decrement operator. So we have to give it. So inside we have to give the block of statements which code you want to execute multiple times. Which code you want to execute multiple times. Okay, clear? So the next one is the while loop. Next one is the while. While loop. So in the JavaScript while loop, the condition is tested first. The condition is tested, and if it evaluates to true only, so then the control enters the loop. Then the control enters into the loop, and the block of code will get executed. After that, again the condition will be tested. After that, again, so the condition will be tested, and if it again evaluates true, so then again the code will be executed. Okay, this block continues to execute as long as condition is true. If at any times it evaluates false, then the loop execution will stop and it come out from that loop, and it will come out from that loop. Okay, so now we can show the while loop also. So first 27.html. Okay, so now while loop. So here, so we have to define the I equal to 1. Okay, so first for while loop we have to define before itself. So then after that, while, okay, we have to check the condition. Okay, I is less than or equal to 10. I is less than or equal to 10. While I is less than or equal to 10. Okay, so then now document dot write, document dot write. So we are printing the number, document dot write same thing. So then I I we are printing, then br br. So then here I plus plus I plus plus. Now you can see this is 127 dot. Okay, 2 3 4 5 6 7 10 up to. So then, so this it will be happening like this. Then you can increment after this one. You can increment the value after this one. Okay, based on our requirement we can change that line. Okay, so if you want to increase before printing that one, so if you want to increase after that printing statement, we can do whatever we want. Okay, so this way. So same thing. So for while loop also, we can print the same thing. For while loop also, we can print the same thing. Okay, okay, clear. So then, so comparing to the for loop and this one, so here if you can see this one. So first it is assigning the value, then after that it checks the value, then print the statement, then after that it will increment. So after increment, again it is assigning to this one. Here, so in the for loop, this way of process is happening. First it is initializing, then it is comparing. So then after that this statement is executed. Then after that it will increment the value. That incremented value can assign to this one again I. Okay, so this is the lengthy process compared to while loop. So first, so before while loop start, we are initializing the value, then after that we are comparing. So then inside loop, so after increment that value, again we cannot no need to initialize to I. Okay, again we cannot reassign the I value. Okay, so every time after increment it is immediately checks the value. Okay, so that is the while loop. Okay, so that is the while loop. So then after that do while, we are having another statement, another looping statement, do while 28.html. Nothing is different. So do while will execute the statement. So before checking the condition, do while will execute the statement before before checking the statement. So now here, so we can write the syntax will like this, look like this. So do, so then we'll execute this statement, so then increment. So if we can execute this one, so it cannot print. So after checking, so this one only, while I less than or equal to 10. Okay, now you can see it. 28.html. Okay, so nothing is changed, same only. Okay, same only. So basically, so while and do while, the difference is, it will execute the block of code, then after that only, if you want to print this one, so we have to check this condition. So without checking this condition, without true this one, it won't print. Okay, first it will execute, but it cannot print. After checking this condition only, it will print. Okay, so while and do while almost same. So but, so while loop, it will check the condition before executing the statement. So but do while, it will check the condition after executing the statement. Okay, so that is only the difference, or otherwise, so remaining thing is same only. Okay, clear. So these are the looping statement. So the conditional statement, if and switch statement. Coming to looping statement for while and do while. Okay, so then from tomorrow onwards, so we can check in the functions, JavaScript functions. Okay, clear. So any doubts? If you have any doubts, ask me. So then we can close. Okay, bye.